Because there's just nothing else to change the color. It's just like, it's so funny.
Actually looks good. Yeah, not gonna lie, that color stands out, especially on the white wall.
Oh, for sure. And then maybe get my light just a little bit more on me, like that. What's up? Right on. All right. I am ready as soon as people jumps on. Yo, what is up, everybody? Welcome to this training. I am very excited to run this training with my man Burton. He is back. The Propstream expert is in the house. Very excited to be telling you guys exactly how you should be utilizing best practices for prop streams regarding what list to pull, how to pull a list, and then a secret known tool that not a lot of people use besides myself right there in Propstream. We're going to be running over all of that great stuff. Plethora, what is up? I am here. Thank you. So listen, for those of you just jumping on, here's what I want you to do for this training. Tell me your name, tell me the market you're in, and tell me your level of experience. Are you a newbie? Have you been wholesaling and flipping for a long time? What your business looks like. And if you want, you can tell me if you're virtually wholesaling and flipping homes, or if you're actually going to be doing it locally in your market, right? So I'm a firm believer, all of the systems, tools, processes that I share with you guys, you can quite literally use anywhere in the nation. You don't have to be in your own backyard. You can be doing it in 2 or 3 different states. Or if you want to go national, you can do that as well, as I do a lot of deals nationally. So again, give me your name. Give me the city and market you're in. Give me your level of experience. I am happy to be blessing you with my guy, Burton. Again, Propstream expert. This is my guru that I call if I want to kind of make sure Propstream's working right. And so we are going to do a deep dive for about the next 45 minutes. We're going to be reviewing how the best practices of pulling a list, what list you should be pulling, and then how to use List Automator. This is the #1 tool, by the way, I will tell you, for not just list pulling, but for me, this is the tool I use to comp properties in any city, in any state. So if you don't have Propstream, you're crazy. You're losing it. You need to have Propstream. Go to tsofdata.com, tsofdata.com. And if you use promo code TSOF, they're going to give you 7 days for absolutely free. So again, tsofdata.com, promo code TSOF, 7 days for free. This is the only software that I mandate my students use. They have to have Propstream. If you're a student of mine, you know that to be true. If you're not a student of mine, what are you waiting for? Let's go. Let me coach you. So, Burton, with all that said, brother, I'm going to hand you the mic. I know you got about 45 minutes to lay it on these people. Let them know how to best use Propstream. I'll make sure I can give you access to share the screen. Do you have that?
Yeah, it looks like I do. I'm
okay,
good to go here. Well, first off, thank you so much for that warm welcome. And man, I can't reiterate enough, guys. Please don't go straight to propstream.com, tsofdata.com. You'll get Justin's price. You'll also get that 7-day trial period. So I can't reiterate that enough. Okay, guys, unless you want to pay full price, that's on you. But with that said, guys, what I'm going to do today is show you an added feature. Justin mentioned that not too many people are using, but if you actually know how to use it, it's going to save you time and money. I know a lot of people say that. You watch a lot of commercials. You've probably heard so many salespeople say that. I'm actually going to show you how it's going to save you time and money. So with that said, let's go ahead and dive into it. Before we go into this feature called List Automator, I'm going to actually just do a brief recap of how to build a list, because that's going to be important. We need to have a list in order to use List Automator. So another advice, if you guys didn't catch our last video, now would be the time to pause this video and go watch that video first, because we show you some best practices on how to build a list. Now, I'm going to go over those right now, but it's going to be a kind of a shorter explanation than before. So watch that previous video. But let's go ahead and get started here. So the first thing I'd like to share with you guys is essentially just a little outline of what our system can do. So This is something I go over more in our last video, but just so you know, we can do lead generation. We can help you find your motivated sellers or buyers if you need to, sell your contract, analyze a property, right? So that's another thing you're going to need to do. If you do get a tired landlord to call you back, or someone in pre-foreclosure or bankruptcy to give you a call back, you're going to need to analyze that property. Okay, so just breaking down what our system can do. Now, what I'm going to be referring to today, talking about today, is this feature called List Automator. Okay, what List Automator does is it puts this part one on steroids. It allows you to search a market, apply whatever filter you would like, save your list, and then automate that list. What that means is that from that day forward, we're going to add new records into your marketing list for you. That's where it's going to save you time, because you never have to run that search again. Where it's going to save you money is as every day passes by, if any of those properties that you saved in your list no longer meet your criteria, let's say you're looking for off-market properties and one of them goes on market and we catch that, we can actually remove that from your list. That's where it saves you money. Because why keep a property on market now if you're going to end up sending them a postcard or calling them just to realize they're listed with an agent? That's List Automator. So new records get automatically added. Outdated records get automatically removed from your list. Again, I'm not here to sell you. I'm just going to show you. So let's go ahead and dive into Propstream. The first thing you're going to need to do when you're in Propstream to build a list is search a market. So I'm just going to randomly throw in a market here. Let's go ahead and use, Richmond, Virginia. There.
Right now you're not sharing your screen. Are you able to share your screen?
Okay. Hold on one second here. Let me get that over to you guys. So my screen is going to let me know if you guys can see it now. All right, here we go.
By the way, I want to say what's up to Indy and Donnie, Maryland. What is up, everybody? I'm excited. So again, if you're just joining us, give me your name, give me the market you're in, give me your level of experience. And then there you go. And then lastly, guys, I get asked all the time, how do I make sure I'm not duplicating my list? How do I make sure that I'm not spending money on, a house that sold already, or it's not a duplicate when I pull another list? At the end of this, the last 30 minutes or so, he's going to show you exactly how you can eliminate duplicates and how you don't spend money on marketing because the house either sold already or it listed or whatever. That's the key. I get asked this all the time. So I'm glad, Burton, you're going to be able to present specifically about that.
Exactly. So first thing you're going to need to do once you're in Propstream is you got to build the list. And again, we discussed this in our previous video. So tune into that so we can break it more into detail. But I'm going to just briefly build a list for you guys. I'm going to go to Richmond, Virginia, and then I'm going to head into our filter. Now, I do want to show you one quick little outline just to reiterate the two ways that you can build a list. And Justin, you can see the PowerPoint right now, right, with the traditional search at the top?
Yep.
Okay, so with Propstream, you can do the traditional search, which is what everybody's doing already. The way that works is that you're going to go into a market like Richmond, Virginia right now. You're going to pick a list, maybe a pre-foreclosure list, maybe a tired landlord list. You're going to make sure it's off market. You're probably going to put your equity amount that you need, and then you're going to apply your property and owner characteristics. Okay, so you can do that type of search with Propstream. The way that would work out is you would pull up your market, go into our filter, choose one of our 19 categories. Let's say you want to go after senior owners today. And then from there, you would use our additional filters to narrow down the senior owners list. Okay, so that's one way to do a search in Propstream. The other method, which we talked about last time, is what we call the 4 golden rules. The way that works is you get to actually build your own list. And what I call a term that I use is called creating a homeowner situation. So the way that would work is just make sure it's off market, has your equity that you need, are the right property and owner types that you're looking for, and then create a situation. So let me just show you exactly what I mean by that. Rather than choosing a list in Richmond, I can just use the additional criteria. I'm looking for a non-owner occupied property. Perhaps it's vacant, Or perhaps I want an owner occupied property and someone is not answering their mail all of a sudden. Perhaps I want certain property characteristics like residential, single family. I'd like it to be maybe off market. Maybe it failed recently on the market. So these are things that you get to create. We'll just keep it off market for now. I do want a homeowner who's owned this property for maybe 10 years or more, owned by an individual. And last but not least, maybe they also have a mortgage that they need to pay every single month. Right? So you notice I didn't choose a list. I just went into the 120 plus filters and said, this is what I need. I need an off-market property with 10 years of ownership, an open mortgage, homeowners not answering the mail for whatever reason. Let's find these properties. This is the 4 golden rules. Once you're done with that, one last thing I forgot to apply, the equity. It's part of the 4 rules there. So we'll do 30% or more. The last thing that you can do is hit close, and now your results on the right side. So whether you're using the traditional method, picking a list, then making sure it's off market with equity, and then add your property characteristics, or doing what I'm doing, just go in there and build your list. Once you have your results on the right-hand side, you're going to need to check them off and then hit add to lists. This is the key component in order to use List Automator. So at this point now, I'm going to either save it to a list I already have or create an entirely new list. And I can call this my Richmond Vacant Open Mortgage. When I hit save, my list will now be sent to the My Properties page. So I'm just waiting for it to acknowledge that my list has been saved. There it is. Now I can go into My Properties, and the Richmond Vacant list is now here. Now, before we go into List Automator, there's 2 important things I'd like to highlight. First, this is part 1. Normally, a user would export their leads at this point, or they might use us for skip tracing and marketing. But here's the thing that you have to understand. When you build a list and export it out of our system, that list is not going to update on its own, right? You're not going to wake up tomorrow morning and automatically your list is going to have 5 new records, right? You're not going to wake up next week and 10 of them have been removed because they've been listed on the market. That is not going to happen. And that's been that way since day one of investing, right? When you go buy a list back in 1990, if you go get a list of 1,000 properties and you start calling them, let's say it takes 30 days, things are going to happen in those 30 days. Some are going to sell, some are going to get listed, and you're not going to find out until you actually waste that postcard or waste your time calling somebody, right? So here's where List Automator comes in. As I mentioned, List Automator is going to enhance your list. Now, let's be honest here. I'm going to be straightforward with you. It is an additional feature. So before we go into showing you what it is, let me show you the costs of List Automator. It starts at $27 extra a month. And the package can get higher depending on how many properties you'd like us to monitor. So think of it this way. If I have a marketing list of 1,000 properties and I want to automate that, the first package is fine because that can hold up to 2,000 properties. If I have a marketing list of 7,000 records and I want to automate that marketing list, I'm going to need to go to the next category or the next tier up, which is the $47 a month plan, which gives me 50,000 records. So here's the point. If you're doing this by yourself, 2,000 should be well more than enough, right? If you have a few VAs, if you have a call center building, then you might need to up your monitored list. Again, if you need us to do the hard work for you, which is add those records and remove records for you automatically. Okay, so it is an additional feature, and I want to make sure you're very aware of the price. Now, for me personally, I have the $47 plan, which is the 50,000 record plan. So now that you know that it enhances part 1, and you know that it's an additional cost, let me show you why it's very powerful, in my opinion. So we've built this list of 41 properties. It has a certain criteria I was looking for. And now those 41 properties have been saved to a marketing list. Now, the reality is in 30 days, I'm going to come back to Propstream and have to search this criteria again to get you records, right? Do that again the next 30 days and the next 30 days. And then I'm always going to have to come back and rebuild this list. But with List Automator, I don't have to do that anymore. What List Automator does is it gives you this button right here called Automate Lists. It only appears if you have List Automator. What this feature does is by selecting it, it allows you to govern what's happening to this list in terms of new records and old records. So we're going to start with the new records first. When new properties match your exact criteria, come available. So if we do an update next week and 10 properties meet this exact criteria in Richmond, Virginia, this drop-down menu will let you do 3 things. Now, normally it's on ignore because we're not doing anything right now, but the 3 options are just add those new records to this list. So next week, when those 10 properties show up to Propstream's database, that 41 here at the top is going to turn to 51 for me automatically. Now, you're probably wondering, well, how do I know what's a new record and what's not a new record? Here on the far right side, if you're looking at your results, you can scroll, and there's a scroll bar to the far right side. And if you are using the add to list feature, the List Automator add to list feature option, this is going to be your 2 best friends. It's going to tell you the date records have been added to this list, and whether they were added manually, like these 41 properties I added manually, or they were added automatically later on. So the date and the type of method add will be presented to you. So if you are using add to this list automatically and you want to know which ones are the new records, those 2 columns on the right side are going to help you.
Guys, if you're watching this, this is an absolute game changer. Absolute
Exactly.
game changer. This is quite literally the question I get asked all the time is how do I update my list without getting duplicates so I'm not calling or texting or mailing the same people? This is the game changer, guys.
Absolutely. Now, I have some users that have said, well, if I'm working on 41 properties already and you add 10 more properties to my list, that's going to confuse me, right? Because now I have 41 properties. I've already sent a postcard, and the 10 properties, if they get added, that's going to cause confusion. So the next option is how about we add it to another list instead? Right? And here's a trick that not too many people know that already exists in Propstream. Here on your left-hand side, the marketing list area, there's a magnifying glass. You can search a list by name, by date. To the right of that, you can organize your list by type. But the plus sign, people don't know what this does. This actually lets you create a folder. So if you have a team member, you could put your team member and have their marketing list go in their folder. But a marketing list, you can create a blank marketing list. And here's why it's important. I can create this list called the Richmond Vacant New Records. And then create this blank list. Now you're wondering, Burton, why the heck are you creating a blank list with no properties? Because when I automate my vacant list, the list I built just a few moments ago, I'm going to tell this system to add those new records to my new records list. So as we're working on these 41 properties, this list, which says 0 now, will start acquiring the new records. And so in 30 days from today, I already have a list I can go attack. I don't have to do the search. I don't have to separate records manually. There's just another list for me already created preemptively. Okay, so that's the second option.
And then as you guys add lists, you can actually create the folder and put, like, for example, I'm adding a bunch of Tulsa lists, Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Yeah.
I can actually just put it into the Tulsa folder, and then in that folder are a bunch of lists.
Yeah, correct. So Tulsa folder or Tulsa records. Let's use that. Hit save. And there it is. And then you can click on this list, or actually this list, and move it into a folder, add it to a folder, and then move your records into that. So yes, absolutely. So take full advantage of those features, guys. But this right here, again, this saves you time, because normally you would come back every 30 days and have to do the search again, right? We're taking care of that for you. Meanwhile, again, if your routine was coming back every 30 days, you might have missed out on the property that was added 2 days after you signed in last time, right? And that's the thing. You don't have to wait 30 days anymore. You can get the records as they show up in our system, either automatically in the same list, another list, or I'm going to be honest with you, the reigning champion right now is I'll do it myself. what I'll do it myself will do is it will identify the records that are meeting your criteria, except instead of adding it to this list automatically or another list automatically, there's going to be a green box right next to total that will say add and tell you how many records we've caught that you either can ignore, delete, or add to a list. Okay. That's why it's very popular, is because it's not automatically doing things for you. It's still giving you the option to do what you want to do. Now, regardless of what option you're doing when it comes to new records, either add to this list, another list, or I'll do it myself, we can send you notifications either immediately, daily, or weekly when that occurs. Okay. Finally, if you thought, man, you guys are saving me a lot of time, which is going to save me money. Well, let me show you how you can save you money. This feature is the mind-blowing part. So not only can we automatically add new records into your list for you, save you the time of having to do that search again in the future, we will pay attention to what you've already created and what you've already saved. So if any of these 41 properties go on market or just sold, this feature right here, when properties change from your exact criteria, what do you want us to do? And they're the counter opposite of the options here at the top. So rather than obviously ignore these new records that are outdated now, we can just automatically remove it from the list. Now, this is not the best option. Not too many people love this option. This is if you for sure know you don't want it, because once we identify it no longer meets any of your criteria, it's automatically deleted and you won't know, right? That's why it's not really a popular option selected. What many users prefer are the other two. If a property goes on market or it sells or the equity goes from 30 to 25%, move it into another list and you can choose any other list. As a matter of fact, same thing applies. I can create a blank list, call it the Richmond outdated leads. And now this list I've created is going into two different directions. New records go into one list, old records go into another list. Whatever is in the main list, I should just keep attacking, right? Yeah. So this right here, the original list, if I get new records, put it in my new records list. If any of them go on market, sell, or no longer have that amount of criteria or equity I want, then move those to my outdated leads. Why? So we can follow up with them, right? We're not going to leave any lead behind. Maybe they're just not ready right now, right? So great way of, again, taking outdated records in your list that we identify and just putting them somewhere else. So that way you're not calling them tomorrow, right? You're not sending them a postcard next Monday when you're going to do your postcards again. That's where it's going to save you money. But the most popular option, just like the top one, I'll do it myself when it comes to new records. Old records, right now, the most preferred option is I'll do it myself. If a property gets listed, if a property goes on market, sold, then just let me know. Don't remove it. Don't move it. Just separate them in a box or identify them, and then I'll decide what we need to do. Okay?
And that's how they're identified, right? Is there's a box that says this just recently got listed or something of that nature?
It doesn't actually tell you exactly what happened. It just identified that it doesn't meet your criteria anymore. So it could have been, the bedrooms change. There are so many different ways. All we know is whatever your specific criteria is, it doesn't meet it anymore.
Got it.
Right. And so this option, I'll do it myself. And again, you can get notifications. So anytime a property gets listed or goes off market, we'll send you an email. So you can tell your team, don't call that address anymore. Right. Okay. So this feature, again, only appears when you click on your lists in the marketing list area. Automate lists, let us know what you want to do. I'll do it myself for new records. I'll do it myself for the old records. Now, when you hit save, we're going to take your list from the marketing list section and put it in the automated list area. Think of this as the VIP section at a club, right? We're going to be paying attention to this list more than we do with the original list. Okay. That's why I call it the VIP section. Now, this is where you got to be careful. You can only put a certain amount of properties in this area. That's that monitored listing I was referring to. So right now I have like a little over 5,000 in my area. I can't do the 2,000 option. I had to go to the next plan. But that allowed me to put a total of 5,900 records in here. Okay. So it's the VIP section. What this does is it takes whatever your marketing list was and puts it in the automated list area. And from this day forward, we're going to keep monitoring, and this is your filter right here, those filters. Now, right now, there shouldn't be any changes because we just built this list like 5 minutes ago. But tomorrow, if a property gets listed or sold, it's going to get identified. So let me kind of give you an idea of how it would work. We build the list today, right? We call them, we send marketing. We're going to eventually log off and go to sleep. So we log out. Let's time travel here, right? We go forward a week. We go forward 30 days. Hey, guess what? We got to go back to Propstream and we got to send more marketing out again. Or we got to build, we got to search that criteria to get these new records because it's 30 days later now, right? So the first thing we would normally do is rebuild that search. We would go back to Richmond, apply the same filters, and say if there's any new records, right? Don't have to do that anymore. You just go straight to My Properties and you click on your automated list. So I can click on, let's say, my Phoenix Senior Owners list that I had from last time. Now, right now, there's 355 properties in it, but if I click on it, that's List Automator for you here at the top. I have the I'll do it myself options. So it's telling me, hey, Burton, 9 new records need to be added to this list. And 2 of them just sold. Got to get them removed from your list. Now, this list, if I scroll to the far right here, was created originally on August 30th. So it's already been about, how many months now? About 4 months, almost 4 months, right? 3 months almost. But in 3 months, we still have a substantial amount of people that fit that criteria regardless, right? And this is the reality of it. Usually in 3 months, many investors start losing confidence in the leads. They sit there and like, man, it's been 90 days. Maybe these properties have sold. Maybe these homeowners have sold to somebody else, right? Or listed. Wrong. Our data is telling you as of today, only 2 of them have sold. So let's remove those. And look what happens to your total. It goes from 355 down to 353. So those are the 353 properties you should still be going after, even though it's been 3 months. That's where it's saving you money, because normally we would go back and rebuild the list again. We're probably saving the same properties just onto another list, maybe with 5 or 6 new records. In this case, 9 new records, right? So you're going to do this search all over again, and you're going to save 353 properties that you already saved from last month, except there's just going to be 9 new records in there, right? So you're just, again, saving duplicates. Now, List Automator takes care of that. Old records get removed. These 9 new records, I can highlight them, and then I can go to actions and add them to any lists or automated lists I want. So if I wanted to create a new marketing list, add to a marketing list, create a new one, we'll call it the Richmond December leads, and boom, right? So the new records with the same criteria that I built 30 days ago, and in this case, 90 days ago, well, those new records are now in a new list, and I can skip trace this new list. I can mark it to this new list without ever affecting my original list. Oh, actually, I should have called that the Phoenix list. I'm sorry, I was confused. But you guys get the point, right? So before, you would build a list in January, market to them that month, then February, then March, then April, then around June, you're like, okay, I got to dump this list because it's 6 months old now, right? Not the case, because we're going to monitor it every single day. So even 6 months later, there could still be 1,000 properties that still need to be marketed to. That's where it's saving you money. And if you don't believe me, look at all of my automated properties. I mean, again, we can look at them by date created. And some of these lists I have are from last year, like my Vegas lien list. And if I click on that, see, there is 167 of them, but only 141 of them need to be removed. So there's still 26 properties that still need to market to. Most of us would have just thrown this whole list away because it's been a year. But even after a year, there's still 16 of them that need to be, 26 of them that still need to reach out to, right? That's where the money is being saved. Now, if we look at it from a larger perspective, again, I'm automating 5,900 records right now. And if I click on that marketing list, it shows me everything that I have. But this is the thing that really catches my attention. It's, hey, there are 381 properties that have been identified as being that need to be removed, either because they're on market, they just sold, they're bank owned, they have negative equity. And so I'm not a math major, but let's pull out a calculator here really quick. And if we didn't know about that and we send all of them a 45-cent postcard, for example, that's how much marketing money we just dumped on these leads. That paid off your subscription, the discounted price you're going to get if you go to tsofdata.com, plus the list automator. And that's just off things that you were going to market to regardless. We're just cleaning that up for you. Okay. So that is the core feature of List Automator, is the ability to take a list that was never going to get monitored and officially monitor it so that we can add those new records for you automatically and identify those outdated records for you. Now, there are some additional features to List Automator. One of them, if you didn't catch, are these summary boxes here at the top. So when you click on a list, whether it's automated or a regular list, we will identify categories that are happening within your list. So in your senior owners list of 168 of them, 10 of them now have low equity. 2 of them now have a lien. So these additional boxes are going to be here for you on top of the ability to automate. And not only do you get these additional boxes, here's a cool thing about each new box that you get. You can edit every single box. So like these 97 free and clear properties, I can click on that box and then hit this edit feature here at the top right and just edit these 97 properties. So if I want to see how many of these free and clear have been owned for maybe 26 years, perhaps, I can then hit apply, and now 19 of them have been owned for 20. So I don't have to go and build another list. I'm just building a list within a list. Like, that in itself is mind-blowing, right? So any of these boxes that you unlock with List Automator can be refined. They can even be completely replaced. If I don't like free and clear, I can click on that and delete what's up here. I can remove every single category. I can even change the name from free and clear to failed listing, and then go down here and choose a new category. Let's click failed listings and let's hit apply. And now my free and clear box is gone. The failed listing box is here. And there are 14 of your senior owners that failed recently on the market, all within the list you've already built in the past. This is a feature that you get with List Automator. It's the summary boxes, only, again, available with List Automator. So again, List Automator is not just automating a list, it's a package deal. This is that second feature that you get. Wait, there's more. Again, this thing doesn't stop. So the third thing that you're going to get is this import feature. Now, I do want to warn you, this import feature gets counted against your monthly limit. So if you have 10,000 records, when you use this import feature, it's going to take away from that. And if you're wondering why, it's because we're going to give you our data when you import that outside list. If you're wondering, what do you mean? Propstream has a lot of data that other providers don't have. And so if you want, let's say, a property owner information that this other provider didn't have, bring that list over and we can give you that. And if you don't believe me, let me show you a live example right now. I can go to redfin.com, right? I can go to a city. Let's use Richmond again. Once I'm in Richmond, I can pull the list that Propstream doesn't have. And let me show you a list that we don't have here. We don't have for sell by owners. So I'm going to go to show more. We have MLS listings at Propstream, so I don't need that. What I'd like are the for sell by owner properties, right? And so that's all I want. Here at the bottom, it says there's 10 properties. I'm going to go ahead and apply those features. Here are those 10 homes. What's cool is I can download that list from Redfin. So let's go ahead and do that. Download that Excel sheet from Redfin. We got those addresses. Goodbye, Redfin. We don't need you anymore. Because remember, Redfin doesn't give us owner information. They don't give us mortgage data. They just tell us that this property is being listed by the homeowner. That is all, right? But now that I have List Automator, I can go into Propstream, go to my properties, click on the import feature. Now remember, it's going to count against your monthly limit. So you just got to be aware of that. But once you're aware of that, follow these 3 steps. Download our template. Open our template. And our template is just going to ask you for basic information: address, unit, city, state, and zip code. And guess what? Most data providers that you're going to get your data from have that information: address, city, state, and zip. So guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to copy that information over to Propstream. Okay. So let me just move this over one. There we go. And then I need the zip codes. There we go. And boom. Last thing I need to do is just save this document, this Excel sheet of Propstream. I'm going to save it as the Richmond FSBOs, for sale by owners, and I'm going to put it on the desktop just so I can find it right now. Okay, now I'm done. Don't need this Excel sheet. Don't need Redfin's Excel sheet anymore because I'm done copying that data. I'm now going to go to step 3, which is choose a file. And that file's on my desktop, and there it is, Richmond FSBOs. I'm going to click on that. I'm going to hit open. What would you like to name this list you're about to bring in? You can put it in a list you already have or create a new one. I'll call it the Richmond FSBOs. And hit save, and Propstream goes to work. We're going to take those addresses, as long as they're in the right format of ours, right? Make sure it lines up to the Excel sheet. We're then going to match that to our system. So here you go. Your import, 10 properties were loaded, 10 were processed, all of them successfully matched. Now I can close that. Here on the left-hand side, there's my FSBO list. And when I click on that, hey, I don't just have the address. I have the homeowner's name. I have their mailing address, property characteristics. Oh, remember those summary boxes? One of them's on market. One of them just sold. 9 of them have high equity. One of them has low equity. 4 of them are free and clear. That's the import feature. So we give you data that others may not have. And again, we're not here to compete with anybody. We're here to support you. You need as much data as possible to make the best decision as possible. So while most companies want to come at us to compete, we're not here to compete with them. We don't ever mention anybody. We're here to service you. So if it means take their data, our data, and put it together so you can determine whether you're going to make money or lose money, that's what you're going to get. So this is a feature that comes with List Automator. Again, be careful because it does count against your monthly limit. And the last and final feature that you get, because we're all about saving you time and money, we're going to discount your skip tracing as well. Normally it's 12 cents, but we're going to drop it down to 10 cents if you have the List Automator package as well. So just to recap, you're going to be able to build a list and automate it. So new records go in automatically, old records get removed, or you can identify them and do whatever you want. You can then use the summary boxes to identify what's happening over time, even create your own categories within a list you've already created. The import feature. Bring in your list from a year ago and update it. Bring in a different provider's list and get our data combined, make better decisions. And last but certainly not least, your 10 cents skip tracing. That, ladies and gentlemen, is Propstream's List Automator. So Justin, thank you so much, man. I can't thank you enough. And guys, I can't, again, please, before I even go, I can't reiterate, don't go to our website directly to sign up. I know you want to. You probably already have. Stop. Open a new tab, tsofdata.com. Sign up through there. You'll get a better price. You'll get the 7-day trial period as well. Okay, guys? Thank you so much.
Cool, man. Dude, this is, I really appreciate you spending the time because I think people are tired of me. And so it's good to have someone in the Propstream world to be able to educate on this, right? I think that this is the best tool in the space of real estate investing, Propstream as a whole. And people are always asking things like filtering lists, uploading lists. How do I, it's a lot of questions for me. So for you to grace us with your time and explain a lot of this more in depth, what List Automator does is quite literally what 99% of my questions are regarding Propstream. So hopefully you guys are taking a lot of notes. Rewind, watch this video again. I'll post it in our coaching system for all of my students. Again, if you don't have it, you must have it. End of story. if you're a serious investor or want to be, you need Propstream. Just use tsofdata.com. Use promo code TSOF. It will give you that 7-day free trial. List Automator is the business. If you're like what I was just thinking about is what you just said, 4 homes free and clear. If you're interested in creative finance deals, those would be the 4 people I skip trace call and say, hey, let's do a seller finance deal. I'll buy your property top value. That's how I would handle that.
And I love that you saw that right away, because normally you wouldn't have known unless you called every single one of them and even got to the point where you're asking that question. Because no one's going to just tell you, oh, yeah, it's free and clear on the first 5 seconds, right? So to be able to say, you know what, let's call these first 4 first and then the 6. I love that you caught that, brother.
Yep.
That's the value of that. So again,
100%.
we're here to help you, not here to compete with anybody or make things harder for you guys. Just you need the data to make better decisions ultimately.
Amen, brother. Well, I appreciate your time. Thank you so much. I will see real quick. I'm going to do exit full screen. We have a bunch of people on, which is awesome. What is up, everybody? Great. If you are, I know Burton's got to run. If you do have any questions, leave comments in the thread below. I'll make sure to jump in there and try to get those answered for you guys. Appreciate it. Thank you for your time, brother. Again, tsofdata.com will give you those 7 days for free. This is the most powerful tool in our space. So I'll see you guys later. Burton, appreciate you.
Thank you, everybody. We'll see you soon.
Later.